Oh man, a huge few days here for Bitcoin. Trump's attempted assassination has led Bitcoin to start confirming a recovery. Is this now the green light for crypto to head back to all-time highs, breaking through and heading towards $100,000? Or is this just a huge bear trap? We've got loads to get into today, guys. We've also got Jerome Powell speaking later on today. I'm going to speak about my expectations from that. If you appreciate this type of content, even when I'm in my shoulder sling using my left hand, I will not lead you guys astray. I will keep providing you guys the updates. So smash the likes. Do not forget to subscribe. If you want to trade with me, meanwhile, you can do so using the link in the description to our Telegram community, ijazcrypto.com/TG. I'm actively trading altcoins in this market, so feel free to come and join us. Guys, look at this on Bitcoin. This is no joke of a candle. This is a very, very important candle, not because we're up 3.3% today, but we are looking to regain our EMA ribbon. This EMA ribbon here, which we lost technically on this candlestick on the 13th of June. It's been a month of pullback from that period where we've just struggled, right? Bear showed a lot of strength in pushing the Bitcoin price to the downside, but now we're trying to get back above it. Now, what has the crypto price got to do with Trump's assassination, right? Why is it we're seeing that markets are so buoyant right now? The traditional markets here, Dow Jones has crossed through records, S&P up 0.55, NASDAQ is up 0.8, the Russell is popping off as well, 1.3. Why is it? It's because the Trump odds of winning the election are now but certain, right? Remember, as investors, what is it investors don't like? Investors don't like uncertainty. They want to know the outcome of these types of events. So when they know an outcome, they can position their trades, and therefore you see more volume enter the market. When they don't know, that's when you see a lot of volatility. Markets don't like uncertainty, right? That's where you get wrecked, is where there's uncertain periods. Oh, is it going to be Biden? Is it going to be Trump? Is Biden going to drop out? Now through the election campaign, because of what's happened over the weekend here, you've seen that there's now more certainty in that people just expect Trump to win now. They expect Biden to run and not drop out and be replaced by another nominee. And that's providing some comforts for markets. Of course, Trump has been pro-Bitcoin. He's been speaking in a pro-Bitcoin manner. So that narrative helps crypto as well. But the other thing that I think people are sleeping on is the fact that the events of this weekend remind us that the US currency, the US dollar, the savior that is fiat currency, is really teetering on the edge. And I think that's one of the unsung reasons why Bitcoin is catching a pump. The reason why we are now picking up from lows of here. I mean, we hit as low as 54,000 to now already recovering back to 62. And this is just further evidence why we shouldn't panic. The reality is this asset class, which you're looking at right now, Bitcoin, is the solution for a lot of the modern world problems. We know that to all intents and purposes, and I don't want this video to be political or agenda-based or anything like that, we know the world's in a bit of a mess, right? We know there's a lot of things geopolitically going on in the world, and we know that fiat currencies could be on the brink of collapse. And so if you're somebody sat there who wants to put their money in a safe place, what is your solution? Which currency is truly immutable, is permissionless? That's where Bitcoin comes into it, and you start to see these movements start to happen in periods of uncertainty. We saw it after the pandemic as well, and you're seeing it now in this type of time of need as well. So you are seeing Bitcoin nice and strong here over the last couple of days. I mean, on Saturday, originally up 2.2%, yesterday on Sunday, 2.6%, and then following that up today with 3.4%. Now, of course, the markets open up now at the time of recording this video. You can see markets are sitting here in neutral territory. This was that extreme fear, guys, last week. It went down to 25. Hold up. Do you want to learn how to trade? Then you need to jump into our Telegram community. Link is in the description. In our Telegram community, I share my altcoins. I share how I do my trade setups, how I do my stop losses and take profit, so you could learn to become a profitable trader. Check it out. Link is in the description. Really fearful market. People were panic selling. I kept trying to warn people, don't panic sell. But like always, you're always going to get those people who, for some reason, want to be buying all the way at the top here at 73 and then selling at 54. I mean, you're just asking to get wrecked if you're doing stuff like that, right? So those people are always going to get wrecked and say that, oh, crypto is useless. Now, big week this week, guys. You got the Fed chairman, Jerome Powell, speaking later on today. He's speaking with David Rubenstein. I think this will be a good chat. right? David Rubenstein tend to be quite direct with these questions. We may get a good Q&A there, which may help move some of the market. I'm sure he'll be asked about the whole Trump situation as well. And then we follow through into the rest of the week, where we do have other Fed officials speaking throughout the week. Fed Daily today, Fed Waller later in the week. You get the Fed Beige Book later in the week as well. Fed Logan speaking. So it's a busy week of Fed officials speaking, which of course can move the markets. Now, speaking of the Fed, what is it we expect from the Fed? Well, the markets are expecting no rate hike at the next meeting in 2 weeks, but they are now firmly skewed on getting one here on September the 18th, which is the meeting after that. Remember, we got a deflationary reading on the month-over-month inflation reading. This market's going, hang on, you've got to deliver the cut now. So look at this. Things are really starting to provide some certainty. Remember, investors want certainty. Now, if you look at the kind of landscape of all the stresses for an investor, what would the stresses be? Economic turmoil, right? We were moments away from a former president of the US, one of the most powerful men in the world, being assassinated. What uncertainty would that have created for the market? So obviously you get the opposite effect, that the markets are relieved, and you get a relief rally like we're seeing here as well. What other worry about inflation? Inflation starting to ease itself. We could be ending now our steepest rate hiking cycle that we've seen in a very long time. What about the worries around the Bitcoin halving? That's done now. What about the worries around all the other geopolitical issues? Markets are kind of taking it in its stride. There's less and less worries that are worrying the market, and that allows it to gain a footing. And that's what's important here, is gaining that footing. The other chart I wanted to share with you was the weekly view, because when you look at the weekly view, this is a very nice view. I mean, if you come back to when we created this double top pattern, when this peak was creating itself, I pointed out in my daily updates that, guys, we're curling over. We failed to hit a higher high. Get yourself ready for a pullback into the EMA ribbon, right? And I don't like to blow my own horn, but you can see this is exactly what played out. I called it at price point up at 72. I said, guys, get ready for the EMA ribbon down here. And you got exactly that. And I told you guys, at the top of the EMA ribbon, I'll start nibbling. The deeper we get into the EMA ribbon, I'll nibble even further. And that's exactly what happened. And now you're getting a recovery. So if you manage to get your dip buys in these levels, guys, if you got your dip buys at 60,000, if you got your dip buys at 59, 58, 57, props to you. You played the market well. You didn't chase green candles at 73,000, knocking on the door of 74,000. You waited for a position of strength down here, and you bought when others capitulated, when others were fearful, when everybody was panicking that we're going to get lower price points. You saw rationality and you said, hang on, this is a pullback into EMA ribbon. This is a statistically good place for me to buy, and I'm not going to follow my emotions. I'm going to follow maths, because maths is better than emotions, right? And you're starting to see that recover. Now, does this now suddenly mean, oh, this is all honky-dory, super happy, fun, straight to the moon now? No. Right? I wish the markets were that easy. I wish I could just copy all the other moon boys on YouTube and just say, oh, the Bitcoin price is going to go to 400,000 now, guys. Get all in right now. That's not how the market works. Yes, we're getting a bounce from EMA ribbon. Fantastic. But the work has just started. This bounce, I'm sorry to say, over the next kind of couple of months is meaningless if we cannot create a higher high. And again, we need to create a new all-time high. Above this wick here, the high, 73,835. Write it down on your post-it note. Yeah, 73,835. We got to get higher than this in the next kind of couple of months. Very important. This can bounce and go in this direction, great, but go and wick higher. Then come back down, no problem. It's got to get at that higher high in order for this market to continue. Otherwise, you still have to pay respect to the bears, because if we just run back up here towards 69 and then curl back down again, we're in a very slow sideways/downward trend, right? That is not the trend you want to be going in, is to go from here and start steering yourself gradually down, 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 down. That's not what we want. We want to push high, get a higher high. But the good news is, statistically, every time we've bounced from our EMA ribbon, we've done really well. I mean, look at this time here. Boom, big breakout. Come to test a bit, boom, big breakout to the upside. So this is a good place to be looking at consolidating your positions here in this market. And more importantly, we've now got some clarity, right? And that's going to go a long way to help markets. You've had your pullback. Nobody can say we haven't had a drawdown now. I mean, take a look at this. These were previous bull market corrections. Go back to 2011, 49%. 2011 to 2013 bull run, you can see we had 71%. Then in 2018 to 2021 bull run, 36% withdrawal down. Then you can see this drawdown here was as far down as 63%, and the one we had now is 26%. Right? So we've not even had that big a drawdown and everyone's panicking. But then look at the big climbs you have thereafter. You have big steep climbs thereafter in the price every time statistically, okay? And that's why it's important to understand that history may not repeat itself, but it certainly does rhyme. There is something we can learn through looking at historical data. Are you going to be that person who kind of sits there going, 4 or 5 times now I've bet against Bitcoin in every single cycle and I've been the fool that has missed out? Are you going to be fooled again? That's something you have to ask yourself. And again, it's only going to be based on your conviction. So there you have it, guys. Markets are reversing. Proceed with caution, but understand that things are starting to become more certain. And that is really good for markets here. People understand that, hey, fiat currency is in a bit of a shaky period right now where the world's biggest democracy is suddenly under violence and attack. Right? That's a bit of a problem. But at the same time, to have this kind of people are just assuming that Trump is now going to be in power and he's going to be pro-Bitcoin, you're seeing that start to price in as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you like these type of updates, don't forget to smash the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. Check out the link in the description to my Telegram community, and I'll see you in the next one.